Ladies and gentlemen, to Smackdown review for November 29th, 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, my personal opinion about this episode was it was rather pretty decent, especially the main event. The main event actually consists of a tag team number one contenders match between American Alpha and the Wyatt family, which had Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Was highly entertained by that main event. I definitely give that match a 4 out of 5 stars. American Alpha displayed some of the excitement that they displayed in NXT with the revival from the NXT tag team titles, and they definitely did a great job with the Wyatt family. May I also mention that Randy Orton teamed with Bray Wyatt makes Bray Wyatt look a hell of a lot better. As surprising as that may sound, you'd think that Bray Wyatt would be brought down from Randy Orton, but actually he looks better with Randy Orton instead of against him. So that should be quite interesting with the tag team titles on the line at TLC. With the rest of the build for SmackDown Live going into the TLC pay-per-view, they started off with the women's division for the women's title. They helped really get into things, had a contract signing to start things off with the beginning of the show. I also was very intrigued at the interaction between Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. Becky Lynch really needs some work on her speaking mic skills. To be perfectly honest with you, I guess you could say, because I think it maybe has some kind of influence with her accent that messes her up. It makes her sound a little bit shitty, but that's not in her hands, her control, really, the way she sounds from her accent. So you can't really blame all that on her, specifically because of an accent, but it does kind of make her mic skills sound shitty. Just my personal opinion, might be different to others. Alexa Bliss and her interacting were fucking outstanding. I actually really like the really engaged anger between the two, and how much they really are portraying a hatred towards one another. Then, not to mention, Becky Lynch gets in a brawl with her and actually gives her a nice shot that actually looked pretty well done by Becky Lynch, or was sold really well by Alexa Bliss by that punch that she received. Overall, that whole segment was a very decent one. Becky Lynch actually goes through a table. She was trying to do a suplex on Alexa Bliss, but Alexa Bliss managed to counter and then push her off the top rope through a wood table, and she pretty much fell down like a ton of bricks. So not bad there. We then had Dolph Ziggler and Kalisto going up against Miz and Baron Corbin in a tag team match, which ended up being a disqualification because of a chair shot delivered by Baron Corbin to Kalisto when Kalisto had a pinfall on the Miz. So nothing really was exciting about this match. It was okay, but not great. I give it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. American Alpha and the Wyatt family cut backstage promos for the tag team match, which were pretty standard. Nothing exciting or heavy duty came from it. Carmella came out, did a promo on Nikki Bella in their match for the one-on-one match that they're gonna have at TLC, and then no holds barred match actually. So this is gonna be quite interesting, seeing women in a no disqualification match, while the women's championship match I believe isn't even being taken place in any kind of special stipulation, actually, which is kind of weird for them not to even have a stipulation for this match when it's a championship match, while a regular standard women's match is going on, and it's a no disqualification, which brings more excitement to that match than the women's championship match, which I find a little awkward and a little weird, but hey, what the fuck are you gonna do? Dean Ambrose held the Ambrose Asylum segment with James Ellsworth. I have to admit, James Ellsworth's whole scenario being involved with Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles with the world title being in the middle is really getting kind of old. I really don't like this idea. I think that maybe tonight ends the whole situation, which I hope it does. I think James Ellsworth needs to go on to do his own thing. AJ Styles, he's going to be being challenged by Dean Ambrose, which I believe Dean Ambrose is going to lose that match, which will lead to James Ellsworth getting a championship match since he won the ladder match from last week. So I would have to say that this is going to be probably the ending of Dean Ambrose and James Ellsworth as a group, I guess you could say, or allies. I'd have to say that after Dean Ambrose loses to AJ Styles for the world title, AJ's going to just beat James Ellsworth. James Ellsworth and Dean Ambrose will pretty much mutually go their own ways, technically, and move on to do their own thing. Possibly Dean Ambrose might turn to a heel and beat the hell out of James Ellsworth, which I don't understand why after such a situation like tonight where James Ellsworth gets beaten the hell up by AJ Styles, gets a Styles Clash from off of a steel stair, and leaps off that and lands on his belly, pretty much almost looking like he's snapping James Ellsworth back. It looked like he was severely injured, in my opinion. Not that his head hit anything, but it just looked like he really whacked the floor pretty badly, and his back kind of bent a little bit. I'm pretty sure his back's not doing so well. But it looked like a pretty bad fall, and really brutal maneuver done to James Ellsworth by AJ Styles. But yeah, the whole thing pretty much came into a brawl at that point with this segment. AJ Styles came out and said, "You need to start taking me more seriously. You're facing the World Heavyweight Champion." Looking at James Ellsworth, he said, "You ain't got squat on me." Dean Ambrose looks at AJ and he says, "Hey, you need to stop worrying about this little guy, this mutant over here, and start worrying about me, because I'm as real as it's going to get for you. And once that bell rings, everything's going to become very serious, and there's going to be nothing but carnage all around. I'm going to put you through every single table, ladder, or hit you with every single chair I can find in this match to beat the living hell out of you." Well, as I just said, it ends up leading into a brawl and so forth, leaving James Ellsworth to go to the hospital in an ambulance. Which I don't think they've done that in quite a while, which was kind of interesting. So not a bad segment. I think it was a nice last attempt to build towards a momentum towards the main event for the World Championship match at TLC. So I thought that was pretty good. And then also we had Kane go up against Luke Harper, which actually, surprisingly, I was shocked by this. It was not that bad of a match, in my opinion. I don't know if other people share the same opinion as I do, but of course, maybe other people don't. But I honestly wasn't, down about this match. It was pretty okay. I mean, it was a 3. That's about as good as I'm going to give it. But, I mean, it wasn't horrible. 3 out of 5 stars. I really think it was an okay match. But, I mean, it's Kane. What are you going to do? It's the same fucking thing over and over again. This guy really needs to retire. I think maybe they should start giving these old guys that are still don't really have much more to give to the wrestling industry as performers and make them be something more. Maybe a backstage consultant, help better younger talent, Maybe make them become color commentators at times, and alternate commentators on the announcers table and shit like that. I mean, I think it would be kind of cool to do that. I mean, they do that in the NFL. They have they have athletes like in the NFL where they get to a certain point, they retire, they become announcers. They could do the same thing in wrestling. They could make on the pre-show. I mean, instead of just having the same old, like Booker T, Jerry the King Lawler, and Lita, they could maybe alternate them every once in a while and give us something different to watch, or at least give those people something to do, or even be storyline writers for that matter, as I already mentioned. So I think really they need to find other things for these guys to do, because guys like Kane and the Big Show, they don't have anything to really give to wrestling anymore. They've really given everything they possibly can to be as entertaining as they possibly can get, and there's just nothing more, that the fans can get behind. You're not going to see Kane ever become a world champion again. It'd be kind of pointless. Not to mention you're going to have to bury a younger talent in order to do that, because most of the talent that are world champions are young talent to begin with. AJ Styles may not be young, but he's young to WWE. Kevin Owens, same thing. I mean, you can't really have these older guys take the titles from guys like Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. They need somebody else in their same level or age category that will work out better and not be looked as being buried. So, in all honesty, Kane, Big Show, guys like them, and Triple H for that matter, and Triple H, though, thankfully, is a less egotistical person as a guy that gets involved in trying to help wrestling get better, and things like that. Doesn't let his ego get in the way of helping talent look better, get better, and advance their careers. For example, I'm pretty certain they might go along with this Triple H versus Seth Rollins. I'm more than likely certain that Seth Rollins will eventually go up against Triple H at WrestleMania 33 and walk away as the winner on the biggest stage of them all. So that's really good if that's what they plan on doing. And I'm pretty satisfied with that. My major issue, though, is guys that have been there for so long really need to step down and go somewhere where they could fit, where they're not burying talent. They're over the hill. They've already done everything possible to get where they need to be. There's nothing more than no higher they can get. So, that's just my opinion, just a small little rant, make the video a little bit more interesting, give you guys more intake on what I think, and, give some more logical reasoning and better way of helping younger talent improve and advance in their careers. But yeah, this match, it wasn't bad. It was pretty decent, like I said. And Kane wins with a choke slam. 3 out of 5 stars, that's all I could say at this point. Becky Lynch cut a promo on Alexa Bliss and called Bliss a bitch. Okay, big deal. Who cares? It really, at this point, it's on. We know that Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch are ready to go. They're going to kick each other's ass at this pay-per-view for their women's championship. As I already mentioned, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt versus American Alpha, outstanding match. 4 out of 5 star match, main event, was very enjoyable. And then at the end of the show, they give a last gasp build up towards the TLC World Championship match, where Dean Ambrose goes ahead while he's trying to interfere the tag team champions from their interview. Dean Ambrose says, "Hey, there you are, you bastard," and he beats the living hell out of him, and Heath Slater and Rhino are cheering Dean Ambrose on to beat the champ up and all that kind of stuff, which was quite funny, actually. It would have even been funnier if it would have been a 3-on-1 attack against AJ Styles and end the show that way, but regardless, it was a nice little last minute push to help give momentum towards the world title match. It also, kind of gave the tag team champions a little bit of importance, even though they were cut off from AJ Styles interfering their interview and pretty much screwing everything up for them. But at least the camera was kind of focused on the tag team champions, giving it somewhat of importance, but at the same time giving the whole limelight to the world title itself, with it being AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose. So, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, my overall opinion, again, was it was a decent show. It was a nice build. It was a nice go-home show going into the TLC pay-per-view coming up this week. I will definitely give you my prediction video on that. I haven't been doing those videos very often lately. Don't know why. I guess just because I've gotten lazy sometimes about doing these videos. But I do the reviews. But I will definitely give you my word. I will go ahead and do a prediction video sometime tomorrow or Thursday. One of those 2 days. That way I go ahead and get that out of the way and give you guys my predictions on that whole entire TLC pay-per-view. But at this time, ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. Leave your comments and opinions down below. I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review as well. And also on top of that, hit that subscribe button. It's a really good show. I enjoy doing these episodes of reviews on Smackdown. I'm going to try to add some more stuff, and I haven't gotten a chance to do some UFC stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get involved in doing that again. I did two a couple of weeks ago, and then I just kind of stopped again. I'm not really getting a whole lot of views out of you guys with the UFC, so it's not making me encouraged to want to go forth and do it, but it seems like these reviews that you guys... the reviews I do for Smackdown and anything modern, up-to-date stuff on WWE, you guys seem to tune into, and that's what I want to do. I want to have you guys tune in to what you guys want to watch. But I would really like to start doing UFC. If you guys really would like to see those videos, my reviews and my reviews basically on like some of the past UFC events, either Fight Night events or UFC pay-per-views. I definitely would like to hear from you guys just to give me your opinion, if you would be okay with me doing that and something that you guys would want to tune into, so I'm not just producing videos for no reason without nobody tuning in to even watch them. But anyway, guys, I thank you very much for watching. It was a pleasure doing this for you, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.